All right. It's Wednesday night, and we are war. We are resilient. I have Michael Geary, Army veteran and the founder and executive director of Hellfish Haven. And I'm Travis, Marine Corps veteran and host of Oscar Mike Radio. We are war. We are with you. We're out here tonight. Give us a minute to kind of share this around, make sure people are seeing it, and we'll get this going. And tonight, it's open mic night, and if you want to chat with us in the stream, if you want to chat in the live stream, click link below.
Absolutely. Would love to see some fresh faces on here, I'm sure people are tired of seeing my mug.
I was going to say, Mikey, I mean, they got to see my mug. It's like, woo, break a camera lens. All right, just make sure we're firing all cylinders here. Do, do.
So tomorrow night up at Operation Delta Dog,
Oh, yeah?
it's going to be an event called Sips and Sits with Hidden Battles and Operation Delta Dog working together. And Hellfish Haven have been invited to have a table up there tomorrow night, 4:30 to 8 p.m. in Hollis, New Hampshire. Jose will be there for anybody that would like to, do the sit and pat with him. And I'm not sure what they have to sip on, but I'm sure it'll be readily available at 4:30, and probably be gone by about 6. So don't be late.
Nice, nice, nice. So, how did you get? Wow, excuse me. How did you get connected to this event, Mike?
Delta Dog reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're hosting an event. It's gonna be like an outdoor like barbecue. If you'd be interested in setting up a table, passing out some information about your organization, sharing some stuff that you have, we'd love to have you." And I said, "Absolutely. Two good organizations that I've worked with before, Hidden Battles and Delta Dog. So I figured it'll be a good time to be up there."
So, are you a barbecue fan, Mike? That's an important question I got to find out. Are you a barbecue fan?
I love it. Like if I could grill all year long without having to stand in snow or rain or muck, I would do it.
So, Operation Delta Dogs is doing this. You're going up there. When you go up there and do this kind of stuff, are you going with any kind of expectations? Is there any kind of numbers you're trying to hit, or is it just being there right in the present to tell people, hey, this is who I am, this is the Hellfish Haven story, and here's how we can help each other. Is that more what it's like?
For me, it's like a two-part like thing. One, I'm going up as a representative of Hellfish Haven, and two, I'm also a graduate from Delta Dog. Like I got Jose through Operation Delta Dog, went through the training program there, so I feel like that's helped me out as well. Like I'm an alumni through them, so I feel like I'm there, partly on our behalf, but also on the behalf of Delta Dog to give back to a program that gave me so much.
Nice, nice, nice. And that's the important thing, right? Is they were there for you, and now you get to be out there for them. Um, you know, when you do this and you see other people coming into the program, how does it make you feel in terms of what's going on in our community right now? Like these people helped you, you're helping them out, and it's kind of like this big circle that comes back together.
Well, kind of like how Mike Peterson was explaining last week, with how like we get so entwined with other organizations that like we'll all have a little piece of the pie for the mission, but together we're so much better. Because like he's Special Splendy Foundation, and then Scott Hidden Battles, and then you've got the team at Delta Dog. You've got Hellfish Haven coming up. Like we'll all be there tomorrow, and we each have different things that we can do to help the veteran community. but none of us is trying to like step on each other's toes to like prevent the other from succeeding. We all want the best for each organization, and like to see like somebody else entering the program and be able to get a service dog like how I did, like for me, how life changing it was. Like it's great to see it happen again to other people. Like for one person, I met this guy Brian in the VA Bedford. I was at urgent care. Jose, down, buddy. We were at urgent care, and he saw Jose. Started talking about, where did you get Jose? We explained about Operation Delta Dog. My wife happened to have a brochure in her purse, so gave him the brochure. And then after I graduated, Delta Dog asked me if I wanted to be a peer mentor for them. And, they matched me with somebody that was in the program that was currently going through, that had just matched with a dog, that wanted to learn the ins and outs of actually, working with the dogs, wanted a little more experience with somebody that had been with their dog longer. And so I was paired with this kid, Brian, who wound up being the person that we met at the, urgent care, and now he's paired with his dog, and it's made such a difference. He sent me pictures of him and her out on the boat, out, just doing all sorts of adventures, like where he was stuck before, like I was, started isolating, just getting stuck in my own way. And that the dog, not just helps you in the physical aspect of helping you, but also that emotional and mental aspect of pushing you through those tough times.
So it's my understanding, I'm learning about, support animals, that there's emotional support animals and then support dogs, and then like uh, service support dogs. Does that make any sense?
Yep. So they basically have two categories.
Okay.
One category is a service animal, and to be a service animal, it can only be a dog or a mini horse. I don't
Okay.
know where a mini horse came from, but I'm sure they're really good at whatever they function as. I just have never seen one in public being used, but it is allowable out there. It's in all the American Disabilities Act cards that we have. They give us to carry to let us know what our dog is able to do under public law. And then a service dog has to perform a function. An emotional support animal doesn't have to perform a function. It's just their presence that makes the handler uh, stable, or more able to function in whatever environment. Whereas the service animal like Jose actually triggers to my panic attacks, and helps me prevent them by alerting me before I'm actually completely into the panic attack, and will stop me. Same thing with like the night terrors. He'll wake me up before I get too far into a night terror.
So yeah, I was getting ready to ask you about Jose, and it's my understanding that the what's needed to train an emotional support animal or dog is very different from what it takes to train a dog like Jose.
Absolutely. And what's unfortunate too is there's a lot of people out there that just go on Amazon, buy a vest that says service dog, and throw it on, and claim that their pet is a service dog, and it's very not only disingenuous of the person, but it hurts people like me that really have a service dog, and that people look at Jose unwelcoming because they've had bad experiences with these fake service dogs, and they've had these dogs that have come in and gone to the bathroom in their stores, and acted up and barked at people and stuff like that. Like, Jose's there to help me. Jose's not there to interact with everybody at the store. Like, and that's what the service dog is meant for, is to be there for you, to help you. And like they're supposed to behave and be like that. That if they do have an accident, if they do start barking and engaging the people, you can be asked to leave the area, even though you have the right to be there with this guy.
Well, Barry Estevez is checking in. Mike, I don't know if you know him. Um, I don't, but he says hello, and he has a service dog from Needs. That's
Yeah, Needs was a is another great organization. that runs out of Massachusetts.
Oh yeah.
They do a different type of setup. Like Delta Dog, you go up and you train twice a week, then down to once a week for anywhere from 12 to 18 months, depending on if you match with your first dog, or you go through a few dogs before you find the right one. And then they want to make sure the dog does well with you when it comes home. You're there, and they check in to make sure that the dog's feeling good, that you're comfortable with the dog at home. They even for me, because I take the commuter rail a lot, the subway, they made sure that Jose was comfortable with me to go on to the commuter rail, come into Boston, and then to take the Orange line like out to West Roxbury, things like that. That way, they weren't matching me with a dog that wasn't able to perform the tasks and to be with me when I needed him most.
Oh wow. So we got Craig Chapman checking in. Craig, thank you very much. And Jimmy James from Colorado. Hey brother, thanks for checking in. Yeah, Barry Estevez has a dog. Um, it's a lot of people don't understand how this works, and it's something you mentioned earlier. There's a lot of people who get burned because someone brings their support. There was a story about someone bringing their support peacock on a plane, and people are like, you know what, enough's enough. I mean, this is just crazy, and it must make it difficult for someone like yourself or somebody who, veteran or otherwise, who really needs a dog or an animal to help them get through life for the day, and they're treated differently because of the bad experience.
It does, and like I said, we've gone into places before, myself, Jose, my wife and baby, and people will be like, pets aren't allowed here, and you have to explain, that the dog isn't a pet. The dog is a medical device, as if a person walking on crutches or somebody in a wheelchair. It's he is a pet at home, but when he's out and he's got the vest on, he knows he's working and he is a medical device. It sounds cruel to call Jose a medical device, but he serves a function in that way.
So Jimmy James says, yeah, it's rough. So hey, it's Mike and Travis. Mike with Hellfish Haven, Travis Oscar Mike Radio. We are war. We are resilient. I'm gonna pop the link in the chat again, just in case anybody wants to come on the stream with us and chat for a while. We didn't get a guest tonight. We kind of wanted just to, you know, go back to basics again. It's kind of cool. Mikey sporting the Bruins hat. Barry says the VA pays for my dog everything but the food. That's pretty cool. Um, what happened there? Oh, sorry about that.
Barry, how did you get them to pay for the dog? Hey, good evening, Mike. Mike with Specialist Blaney Foundation, checking in and saying what up.
I don't know what happened with my chat overlay. Oh wait, hold on. Hang on a second. Let me do this real quick. Let me just bounce up a quick second, Mike.
Yeah. And so, like, for me personally with Jose, like, I'll go into a place and they gave us like a little card that we keep with us, and it just basically tells you the do's and don'ts of service dogs and what's allowable by law and what's not. Like, it basically says, they can ask you, what does the dog do, but they can't ask you if the dog, is a service dog. It says when it's not obvious what service an animal provides, only limited inquiries are allowed. Staff may ask two questions. Is the dog a service animal required because of a disability? And what work or task has the dog been trained to perform? Staff cannot ask about the person's disability, require medical documentation, require special identification card, or training documentation for the dog, or ask for the dog to demonstrate the ability to perform the task.
So that's all stuff that people can't do when you have all the right credentials.
Yep. So basically, when you have, when they see the dog and the dog is behaving properly, they can't, go ahead and say, what is your disability? What does the dog do? Make the dog do it right now. They can't, demand you to put on a show right there. You just kind of explain to them what the dog does, so that way, like for me, like if the dog does start alerting to me, the people on the like when I was taking the train from here to New York City, like and let them know that if the dog starts really alerting me and pawing at me and motioning towards my chest, that I'm having an anxiety attack, and I just need more space so that way I can get back to. And for them, like that's important to know, being the people that are on the train with me, that the dog's not doing anything bad. The dog's just gonna lay there next to me the whole time until if he needs to.
Hang on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right, we will. Oh, 1 second.
Yep.
How long have you had Jose, Mike?
What's that,
How long have
Jose?
you How long have you had Jose? Yeah.
Uh, we have been paired together 2 years. Uh, this March.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yep.
So Craig says, thanks for the info last week about getting veteran help in New Hampshire, Mike. He said New Englanders helping our veterans uh, were able to help that guy out. Awesome. And he gives props to you and me. Hey, it's just what we're here for. And then Barry's like, you should look at needs for a dog. That's very interesting. I'm going to switch to my phone here for the chat because I don't know what's going on.
I want to say that Needs came up and did like a evaluation on Delta Dog, and that they're going through the process of making sure they can do get approved by the VA in the end. And like they sat through one of our classes and like watched us working with the dogs, and like you kind of feel like a goldfish inside of a little fish bowl when you got three people just sitting there like awkwardly looking at you. Well, us and the dogs just did our normal routine of bringing the dog out. The dog would you drop something, the dog picks it up for you. You go with the dog, marks the target, and then just interacting with the different distractions, and keeping the dog focused on you while it does have all these distractions. For me, that was the hardest part of the training, was with Jose. At first, when he saw cars or when he saw a guy on a bicycle, he was like, "Whoa, where are they going? Like, I want to follow them." And then, just the repetition of, every time that happened, would click the button, click treat, click treat, click treat. And once he got, used to it enough times, then he knew that wasn't for him. And then whenever he saw a car or, a bike, he looks up to me now and goes, "Hey, do I get a treat for not, running after him?" Because we don't give him like food in the morning like a normal dog. Like all his food is given to him throughout the day as he works. So he
Oh,
gets
really?
hand fed all the food. Like everything is just given to his like mouth from my hand.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool. You know, I kind of wanted to take this and go to the next thing, which is, this aspect of collaboration. You know, this is more than just about dogs, what you're doing tomorrow night, right? It's more than just about helping them out. It's more than just about being there and let people know what Hellfish Haven is. There's a real part of what you do that involves showing up. And if you want veterans to engage with you, you have to be there. I mean, that's really something I think a lot of people miss.
It is, and like the a lot of times you reach out to different organizations and you say, you know, I'll work with you on this, or I love to do a project with you. Like I'm sure with the different people that you've interviewed throughout the years, how many of them have said, I'll do something in the future with you, but then the future comes and it just for whatever reason fizzles out. And
Right.
it's so important to keep that communication, that relationship with these organizations and with these people to to let them know, one, you're there for them, and two, that you do believe in what you're selling and what you're sharing. For us, we're not selling anything because it's a nonprofit, but we are sharing the information that's out there of the PTSD treatment, the treatment for TBI, uh, with it being Sexual Assault and Awareness Month, MST, uh,
Whatever it is.
yeah, whatever problem they're having. We just want to let them know that we're here and we're able to provide them a safe place to confide. And if they're not comfortable coming to us, we'll find you someone else that you can go to, or another avenue of approach, that you don't just have to go one time to the VA, get disgruntled with it, or give up and say, that's it, I'm done. No one will be able to help me. We will help you find the route that's good for you, and get the organizations out there that are available to help you.
Just want to pop in the chat. A good resource for Massachusetts residents is the uh, masshelpline.com. We had Gail on talk about that, and this will come up here in the chat here in a second. Where you know, again, it's just different organizations working together to make things work. It's really cool how these things all come together. Um, oh, let's just switch it up here for a little bit. Are you a Bruins fan, Mikey?
I am.
Well, is that like a hologram hat? I've been spotting that hat all night. Oh,
So it's a hockey is for everybody.
I should have worn mine. Hey, I'm gonna put you up there. I'll get my Bruins hat. Be right back. Hang on one second.
Absolutely. We had it was a hockey game. It was back on a pond in Foxborough, and it was the track team versus the hockey team for a little pond hockey. And when the track team, we beat the hockey team. That's when I started really, enjoying the sport, and got to really, see it more and more. And I also laugh at the fact that a bunch of, goofy, lanky track kids were able to beat, a team that have trained, you know, hockey
Ah,
players that have been playing their whole life.
there we go. There we go. Now we're kind of like. So I mean, we could talk about vet stuff, but this is like local to Boston. Like, have you probably been a Bruins fan longer than I have? Have you ever seen anything like this in Boston sports ever? This is a complete domination from when the puck drops to when the last buzzer sounds.
Oh, it's beautiful, and like also too, like it can tie into our community because they do a lot for the veterans, and that there is Operation Hat Trick that is out there, and if you ever see like the camouflage versions of the apparel that they have, that goes and supports organizations like the USO, like Winter Warrior Project. Uh, they just did something. It was the fitness challenge. Uh, People like going up and down the stairs at the Boston Garden, and that was with 22 Mohawks. They do a lot where they help veterans in need, and they also do have a puppy program where they provide veterans in need of companionship with puppies. It's not a full trained service dog, but it's it's the start for them to be able to get there and and to have that support.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
also did uh, a skydiving like exercise with some foreign militaries that awarded the veterans that went out for it foreign jump wings.
Real quick, Barry Estevez says, "Where's your dog from?" It's from Operation Delta Dogs, right?
Yep, Operation Delta Dog. They actually
Uh,
not this Veterans Day, but last year's Veterans Day, they did a story about me and Jose for Operation Delta Dog.
I'm gonna get the link up here and pop it in the chat here in a second. Just give me a second.
Yep,
So very, very cool. No, I just think it's a really exciting time, and people don't understand. I mean, all the teams around here support veterans, but it's not really talked about. The Bruins, like you said, do a lot for veterans.
yep.
Uh, they might not get to, they might not have run the home base like the Red Sox, but they do a lot. And in some ways, it's not really talked about a whole lot. I think that's kind of a shame because Jeremy Jacobs does support veterans very, very enthusiastically.
And even like you would see in the locker room, like the jersey, the multicam jersey that we get passed around, and like the patches, and like everything. Like you see the small things that people normally don't see, like when the camera cuts through the locker room after a game, and like you'll see a guy's got a patch or a guy's got a couple of coins up there, and like it just shows you that the support goes beyond the lip service, and
Absolutely.
like it's definitely it's good to see that. And I've had people I'm friends with that have done the colors for the anthem, and they've gone out there and and stood there with the U.S. flag or the Army flag, whichever it was, for the evening. And then for me, I would not want to be standing on the ice because I would just feel like I would fall the entire time. I'd be like, "Don't fall on national TV! Don't fall on national TV!"
But it's just a very interesting time, and I think it goes back to what we talked about before. I mean, the Bruins, the Red Sox, and the Patriots, and even the Celtics, try their best to support veterans in their area. I like the whole thing because you don't have a couple of superstars this year carrying the entire team. The entire all three lines, four lines are producing. Everybody's together. Everybody's doing their job. It's just and we kind of came from that culture, right, where you know it wasn't just one or two studs. You needed the entire platoon, the entire squad to be at their best to accomplish the mission. And it's kind of cool to see that here in this way.
Yeah, like then I know what do they used to call it, the fribble line, the line that would go out to friendlies and get some fribbles because they weren't doing anything.
Right, right.
We don't have that this year, so that's good to good to see. And like you know, you're always in the military. You wanted to train the guy below you to be able to do your job, so in case you weren't there, they could do it. And you always want to know the job of the guy above you for the same reason to one day become that person, or two, if they're not there, to know what to do. So that way somebody leaves above you, you're not like, what do we do now?
Right, right, right. No, it's very, very cool. Very, very cool. So hockey's big in this part. Um, Barry's saying he's saying Mike, we should get together with the dogs soon. Barry, you can just drop
Absolutely. BMG at hellfishhaven.org. And, just shoot me an email and then I'll shoot you my number and everything.
BMG at hellfishhaven.org. Right there in the chat, you can't miss it. We're getting on a roll here. Awesome, awesome.
Also, Providence Bruins are really fun to go see. They do like these group tickets. Like I used to get them for the American Legion post I was commander for down in Foxborough. We would get like a group rate for tickets, be like 10 or 12. Go down there, watch the game. More fights, more fun, more. A lot of thirst out there for these guys that they want to make it to that next level, or they they're at one level and just want to go to the next, and you see the hunger, and like it's really fun to have a good time down there.
Well, such a team sport, man. I mean, people talk about soccer, but I mean, not only do you have different positions, but the defense and offense have got to be playing together. They got to be supporting each other. Your goaltender has to be on point. The coach has to understand, what players work best together. It's really the ultimate, in terms of what they have to go through and do. So, I just it's just kind of weird, right? We're sitting here, and the Bruins just got an NHL record. It's never been done before with 60 wins. It's going to be an exciting playoffs, and I gotta tell you, I'm just eyeballing a hologram freaking logo, man. That pops, Mikey. That pops. Like I got the bear, and that kind of fits me because I kind of look like a bear. But the hologram logo is just been firing in my eyeballs all night tonight. So, hey folks, we talk about veteran stuff, we talk about serious stuff, we have some fun too. Um, you know, one of the things I kind of wanted to bounce off you tonight is this aspect of nonprofits. Um, there's a lot of nonprofits in our area, and one of the things I heard, man, is one guy said to me, he's like, hey man, I mean, I live in a small town, and everybody is hitting me up for money. It's just there's more people, and even if I have the same amount of money to give in a year, there's just less to go around. And I get what he's saying, but sometimes I wonder, if people are going to start getting fatigued with all the nonprofits popping up asking for money.
Oh, I think it's already happened, and
Oh, really?
and you definitely see it. For me, like it's why I try not to do too many Facebook fundraisers, because I want the people that follow us on Facebook to be able to get the information from us, to be able to see what's out there and know, hey, we've got this trip coming up, or the VA's just released this act, or like this new benefits available. I want to make sure people are getting that. We don't have us hidden because we're always saying we need money, help us out, help us out, help us out. So we try to limit, the amount of fundraisers we do, online like that, to, one per quarter. That way, we're still engaging and letting people know that we do need the help and support. And, we always put it at the end of the newsletter, or, the QR codes on the business card. And, just it's out there, but we're not pressing it, probably as hard as we should, because we don't want to engage folks in that fatigue, and we don't want to ruin that for other people, because the worst thing that a lot of these organizations that are out there, there's 40,000 veteran service organizations out there in the nonprofit world.
In the Commonwealth or in the United States?
In New England, not New England, the states, the whole U.S. There's
Holy moly.
40,000 organizations that are out there helping veterans, or claim to as part of their mission statement. But of that, there are so many that don't have a clearly defined mission statement, that they're receiving money from people, and then they're not actually doing much with it. And because of that, the person that donates gives money to this organization, then they don't see it go anywhere. They don't see a thanks for it. They don't see an impact on veterans. And then now they're not going to donate again to you or any other veteran program. So now they've hurt not only themselves, because they're not going to get funding, but they've hurt other veteran organizations by taking that funding and now making that person that could be a yearly, funder, or donation, participant, and now ruin them, for a while or forever, because of them not having a clearly defined mission. And that's why it is so important to have a mission, to be focused on it, and to make sure you are always doing things with it. There's a lot of these organizations that, people get the money and they go, "Oh, I got money now." No, it's not my money; it's the organization's money. Anything that comes in goes into the fund, and and goes back out to veterans programs. It goes back out to making sure that we're always available to take care of these guys. Like I don't take a salary. I just go there and I work and I make sure that I'm able to have a place for these guys to go and to meet and these events to run.
So Mike Peterson says absolutely people are getting fatigued, but do research and spend wisely. Nonprofits need to work harder in getting the word out and explain exactly how they help. I couldn't agree more, Mike. And he says the Specialist Matthew Green Memorial Fund assists special first responders locally. And to your point, with 40,000 veterans nonprofits in the United States, that's 800 per state on the average. I mean, even if you grade it on a curve for like California and Texas and like Florida, it still means that if you're in Rhode Island or Vermont or you know a couple of these other states that aren't as big, that's a lot of coverage in a state. It almost makes you wonder, like there shouldn't be some of these challenges that veterans are facing with that many people advocate for them.
And with it too, all these organizations are going for, you know, those grants that are advertised, those ones that that are out there. A grant from the Brumans, for nonprofits. All of all the nonprofits in Mass will apply for, and so then you're not only are you fighting for veteran nonprofits, you're fighting for nonprofits to help kids in the community, disadvantaged youth, homeless persons, and so you're competing with all these other organizations. But it's like for us, the way that we look at it when we partner with folks like the Specialist Planning Foundation, with Hidden Battles, with Operation Delta Dog, we see in them another organization that's that aren't just looking out for themselves, that are willing to teach us the ropes. That we're a fairly new organization, and like we had to learn from some of these. Like Delta Dog is having their 10-year anniversary this year, and they've asked us to be a part of it with them. So we're gonna go and do that. We'll work with them for part of it, and then we'll just enjoy it as a date night for the rest of it for me and my wife. And like they've taught me, how to go out there and how to talk to people and how to like go to these different organizations and the hierarchy of like how it works.
So Barry says, one, or you need to invest in a grant writer. He says we have one at NEA. And have you ever worked with grant writers? Because I have been told that if I start a nonprofit and I'm getting involved with one, we're standing one up, is that a grant writer is worth their weight in gold. If a grant writer, if you get an experienced grant writer who knows how to understand the requirements from the grant and write the grant effectively, they pay for themselves. Is that your experience? Do you have any experience with that?
I do and I don't. I've gone out and I've had to do the grants myself. And
Oh
like
wow,
last year, I missed the Staff Sergeant Fox grant by like 3 or 4 minutes on the deadline, and it was because I had to go back and I had to change the time. Like it was the date time format was supposed to be time, uh, month, day, year, and I did time, day, month, year. So I had
wow,
flipped it. So I
that
had to go
picky?
back on the whole form and change every time, every date time group. And so because of that, like I missed the cutoff for the time, and it was like a minute or two passed, and like I went to go hit submit, and the button was gone.
They're that picky though about having the date and time format in the right what they want.
Oh, absolutely! Like it's crazy, like the stuff in it. But like for me, what I've just found lately is, believe it or not, is Chat GPT.
No
Like
kidding.
being able to like take the information from my mission statement, take the information from the grant and what the needs are, and you're able to plug in and say, "This is my mission statement. This is the question they have on the grant. write me a grant proposal for this for my organization.
Mike says, "Thanks for your work, guys. Got to go. Please keep it up. You guys are needed." Mikey, thanks for coming in and checking in us. I'm sorry, Mike. Thanks for checking us out tonight, Mike, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, Mike will be on the radio. They'll be talking about sips and sits 980 AM radio. We'll drop a link for that
Yep.
before the end of our show. So if folks want to listen to Hidden Battles Radio on 980 AM radio, they can afterwards.
Let's see here. We'll go with the Facebook link first. Oh, it's Hidden Battles Foundation. Sorry. Hidden Battles Podcast. Is it Hidden Battles Foundation?
Yep.
Okay.
And then they have like hidden battles, like it should be like radio.
Okay. I see the Facebook page. I'm going to paste the Facebook link in here while this one's loading up. That's how we roll here, guys.
This is the link I have for their the Facebook to listen live.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. I got it. I'm going to paste it right in here. Thank you.
Obviously, with AM radio, you got to be close to the station to hear it. Otherwise, your best way is to stream it. They do. They've got a phone line you can call in. They'll advertise during the show. They're very interactive with the people listening. Anybody can call up and talk about whatever they're discussing live at the show. And they're always they're talking I think resilience tonight, which is our talk here.
There we go. Well, and that's the thing I like. We're talking about resilience. We'll talk about resilience or other things. They talk about resilience, and it's everybody can talk about it. There's no like, no one has the hold on resilience. We all could learn from it. I mean, um, it's just a good thing to have out there. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Michael. So, time flies when we're having fun. Um, Mike, what do you think we should talk about next? I'm thinking that we got Memorial Day coming up soon. I'd like to get your thoughts on Memorial Day because a lot of people confuse that with Veterans Day, and then I don't know about you, but some people who are trying to understand confuse Memorial Day and Armed Forces Day, which are kind of close together, and Veterans Day. So I don't know. I'd like to talk about what Memorial Day does, and because I get a little irritated honestly when I see, hey, we're having a big stuff for Memorial Day, or it's time for Memorial Day weekend. Let's all go to the beach. I'm like, well, that's great. I'm glad you can do that, but that's not what it's like for me. It's kind of a somber time.
Where you see the Memorial Day sale for mattresses or Memorial Day sale on cars, and it's like that's wasn't really the get go of the
Right,
holiday.
right,
But it
right.
has turned into the official start of summer and everything, and it's like
Yeah, we get screwed on gas, and Cape traffic is absolutely starts becoming brutal for the next 4 months. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. Maybe not next week, but definitely in May. Try to do some stuff around that because I don't know about you, but I remember some I didn't serve in combat, and nobody in my battalion did. We weren't combat deployed, but we lost some people, and I don't know why, but during that time, it kind of comes back to me that shit, it was peacetime and they got killed in the line. It was kind of crazy. So just a thought, as we go through. I mean, we've been doing this for almost 4 months now. This is crazy.
I know the general that I was on the PSD team for on my first tour in Iraq. Uh, he was the assistant division commander for maneuver, and with that, he wanted to be at every memorial that was in the division. So anytime a soldier passed away in the division or was killed, in action in our area of operation, which was the north, just above Baghdad. We had from Tikrit to Crook to Mosul. That whole area was our area of operation. So anytime somebody passed away there, the general would want to be at the memorial service, and just hearing the person's story, hearing the who they left behind, and then everything about their life, and the sacrifice that they truly made, and how when when taps hits, when those gunshots go out, it's a somber, chilling emotion that I don't know. I just even thinking about it, like,
Yeah.
kind of get caught up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just kind of want to highlight some of those emotions we all feel during that time. And then, and then I don't know if it's by design or whatever, we do that. And then we get ready to celebrate America's birthday. Still, we got our problems. We're like any other family with problems, and we're not perfect. This is still a great place to be. You and I both know that. And I kind of want to bring in July with a bang, or, just say, hey, it's great to be an American. There's nothing wrong with that. So, it's good stuff there. Good stuff
I
there.
know too. There's a lot of good events that do happen, around Memorial Day,
Yeah.
Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Uh, that's when they redo the flags for every veteran down at Bourne at the National Cemetery. Um, every single grave gets a brand new flag. People go out there. You should take a screwdriver, pop it in, and put a whole, a flag in there, making sure that each soldier, or service member, however long they've been there, is not forgotten. And they also do mass military heroes fund, which just got gobbled up by the home base program. They're the ones that do the flags on Boston Common. They do the 30,000 flags.
Yeah.
I went up and did that last year with my daughter. And, she was 6 months old at the time. And, we're putting, the flags in the ground. And she doesn't understand it, but it's just something that, I
Who
felt to get her out there and to be part of it so that,
who
when
does
she does get older, she'll see that.
who does that again?
Mass Military Heroes Fund.
I just want to look it up real quick and see if here's the link there. Massmilitaryheroes.org. Memorial Day Flag Garden.
I'm copying the Facebook page and sending it to you on the chat we have.
All right, one second. I see the thing here. This is how we work, folks. I mean, it is just, like a well-oiled machine now. I got it dropped in the. It's like we've been doing this all our lives. It's great. So, found that link, and I'll get it up here in a second.
And of course, too, like, anybody has a VFW, a Legion, or an organization that's out there that wants to collaborate with Hellfish Haven, we are looking to go on, a spring fling tour type of thing, and set up in the morning, do a coffee, cards, chess, and camaraderie, and do like a veterans morning event, and then the evening do a game night slash trivia, raffles, video games, board games, card games, uh, trivia, just a family friendly event to bring more folks into these organizations and just to engage the veteran community in a different way.
Awesome. This is awesome. Good. I know about this. Okay. All right. Teamwork makes the dream work, man. I really appreciate that. I've been so Craig Chapman says, let us know when and where. we'll make this work. We'll make this work. Um, Time flies when we're having fun. We were 50 minutes in, and it's just a really good time. Like there's people that ask for information. There's people that want to learn, do the right thing. I think the thing that we're seeing is, I think you agree with me, is we're seeing a lot of civilians wanting to learn about our culture, how they can advocate either through their work or personally. Um, and yeah, there might be a lot of nonprofits out there, but it still comes down to the individual, I think. And for that, if you're listening or sharing or watching or have questions, you know, you can look Michael up on Hellfish Haven, me on Oscar Mike Radio, and we'll try to put our heads together and get you an answer. Absolutely.
It is, and like we are, we are, and like each veteran is an ambassador of the community. Just like when we go overseas, to Germany or whatever country that we travel to, you're an ambassador of the U.S. and you're an ambassador of the service while you're there. You don't want to be ignorant of the local cultures. You want to make sure that you understand the way and the things that to properly have a communication, to have a conversation with the locals, that you're not offending people based off their ways of life, and because there's a lot of times where you see the people go out there. And, when I was in Germany, guys would be, talking to somebody in English, and they wouldn't understand it, and they would start yelling at English, and it's like if they don't understand it, saying it louder doesn't make them understand it, and
I don't know why people do that.
and then there was other times too that you would see that the people would speak English, but they wouldn't speak it to those people that were rude. If you tried to speak a little German first, they'd be, it's okay, I speak English, and they would talk to you. Even in Iraq, I had a colonel. He would eat with us, the lunch and everything, and he would sit next to me and he would talk to me in English the whole time. But then when our battalion commander came out or our company commander came out, he would not speak a single word of English. He would make the translator translate for him, and he would just, he would just be this complete total play the game, like, yep, this is me, I'm the, the chief, and I'm here, I'm doing this, and I don't speak English, I only speak in Arabic. But then me and him would be there, and we would just you know talk normally like this we're doing now.
Did you learn any Arabic while you were over there?
I did, and
It's
did
a hard,
and
I
like,
heard it's difficult to learn though, right?
yes, very much. Like, I couldn't tell you what things say when it's written. Like, that's one thing I couldn't pick up was the reading, the writing. Like, but there's some words that you can pick up in conversation, and like there would be some things that they would ask for all the time, that asking for fuel, asking for supplies, and like you get to the point where you could answer the question without your translator, or your linguist, saying something to you, and that would also help you kind of play the game a little bit, where it would let you gain a little bit of wasta, to like be able to have that ability to make the room think that you speak Arabic, just by stopping the interpreter and answering the question before they translate it. So there would be times that me and the linguist would talk about things beforehand, and I would say at this point, okay, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to answer the question before before you say it.
Wasta is like clout or who you know or
It
influence.
is.
All right.
Like when you come into a room, you make sure you go around the room and you shake hands of everybody, and you go, around the room. You don't go up to the highest ranking person first and go, "Hey, what's up?" I'm Mike. You walk in and you go around the room and you shake everybody's hands. You greet the room instead of just that one person.
Nice. Well, I learned something new tonight. Wasta. It's just amazing. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. So time is flowing, ladies and gentlemen. We just I don't know. It just seems like we're having so much fun, and we're trying to add value, and I don't have all the answers, and I don't think Mike will tell you he has all the answers. But we're here to put our heads together and try to figure out a way to help people, get what they need or move forward or have a laugh or two even. So, um, like I said, I think we're gonna, close out April, try to get somebody next week, and then talk about Memorial Day. It's coming up, and want to thank you again for coming on, Michael.
And Travis, you're talking to a good veteran tomorrow on your podcast.
Oh yeah,
One that
Al Rodriguez.
I've been able to work with Allie a couple times,
No
both with
kidding.
the she was doing the food thing where they putting the food in the trunk of vets when they first started that down at the stadium.
Yeah, at Foxborough Stadium, she talked
Yep.
about how you know Mr. Mr. Kraft was very cool and just really helpful. I'm going to paste the link to that in here if I can get my act together. All right, here we go. Let's try this. So that's my show tomorrow night. You can check that out. And she was talking about how the Patriots are for real. Like Bob Kraft really cares about veterans, and will do stuff for them, and has helped her out as the Foxborough BSO. It was a really cool conversation. In terms of these people out there that's going to help us out, but we as veterans got to help ourselves out too. Whether we just can't let people just do it all for us, right? So that's the link. That's the all right. Wow, this week's flying by fast.
And I know, like too, like the Patriots on my first tour, they sent us the DVD. The 3 games to glory where they beat the Eagles, and they won the Super Bowl because we were overseas when that all happened. So
Right.
they sent that over. We used to have a little Pat the Patriot doll that's actually in the Hall of Fame. So if you go to the Hall of Fame during Memorial Day or Veteran Day, they have a rotating stock of items that have been gifted to the Hall of Fame from different people, and that's one that's there. It's got the different patches of the mass guard that I was with when I was overseas, and it's got the little Pat the Patriot doll sitting in there, with it. It says, donated by, and at the time I was Staff Sergeant Geary. And, the Pat the Patriot was our good luck doll. Made sure that whatever we hit didn't put us out.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, any closing thoughts, Michael, before we shut down for the week?
Just if folks are around, we want to go up to Hollis, New Hampshire, 4:30 to 8 tomorrow. And if anybody, has a VFW, a Legion, or an organization that wants to host Hellfish Haven for a coffee or a game night, let me know. I'm looking to travel and to get around the state a little bit and to meet some folks that I traditionally want.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, again, this is Michael Geary, Army veteran and founder and executive director of Hellfish Haven. Um, you know, you can find him on Facebook just like me. I'm Travis, Marine Corps veteran and host of Oscar Mike Radio. I'm also on Facebook and other social media. We're just happy to be here tonight, and we want to thank you all for coming by and checking us out. And we will see you next week. And Craig says, last post here, post 443 VFW North Attleboro. We'll have to check that out. Maybe we can do I'll tell you what, Craig, we'll talk offline, Mike and I. Maybe we can do a co-do event there. That'd be pretty cool.
I'll be down.
All right. All right. Hey, we're Oscar Micro Mission Flight. We're going to talk to you guys next week, and you all have a good weekend.